Good morning everyone. I hope all of you are well. And today I will take the class of science of class 9, okay? That is fundamental unit of life. We have already learned something about that chapter, that is how the cell is evolved, how the cell theory is evolved, and what is the basic structures of the cells. And today I will discuss about the different components of the cells and its structure and functions. Okay. So how is a cell is organized? Previously, I have already told you that there is the basic three components are present in all cell. First one, plasma membrane. You can also say that cell membrane. Next one, cytoplasm, the jelly-like structure that contains all the cellular materials. And another one, nucleus, the most important, that contains DNA. And next one, cell wall. It is present only in plant cell. And another one, cell organelles, okay? The components that present and helps the cell to do their perform all the functions, okay? So the basic how cell is organized and how what is the structure of the cell, that is first one. If these three are the basic components that is the present in the all type of cells. If these three are anyone is absent, that will not be a cell. Plasma membrane and cell membrane that give the structure and protect the cell from the outer surroundings. Next one, cytoplasm, that is the jelly-like structure, all of you know that, and contains all the cellular material. Nucleus, the most prominent structure, the round structure that present in the cell. And another one, cell wall, that present only in some bacteria cell, also primitive type of cells, and you can find out inside the plant cells. And cell organelles, that is the components mitochondria, Golgi body, lysosome, anything that helps the cell to do their performance, that is called cell organelles, okay? So this is the structure of the cell. Plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell wall and cell organelles. So first we learn about the plasma membrane. Before going to discussing, we just draw a structure of a cell. All of you know that how the cell is looking like. You have already learned this is in your previous classes. The structure of a cell almost. First one, obviously nucleus is present just inside the cell, the most prominent structure, and it's also called a coiling DNA are also present, that is the cell. Next, the cytoplasm, the jelly-like structure. And this cytoplasm contains different types of cellular organelles. You can see here is just endopalmy reticulum just looking like this. So this is the outermost covering of a cell. That is, you can say that cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay, the outer structure. It is an animal cell. That is plasma membrane. First one, that one is nucleus. This one, cytoplasm. This one, endoplasmic reticulum, ER, small form, and this endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosome. So for that reason, its surface is rough. This is called rough RER. That is rough endoplasmic reticulum. And this surface is smooth. There is no ribosome is present. It is called SER, means smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. This one is vacuole. This one is Golgi body, bag-like structure, lysosome also present. This one is mitochondria, the energy store of the cell. So this is the basic structure of a cell, and it is the structure of an animal cell. If it will be the plant cell, there is the another outermost covering will be present, that is called cell wall. Okay, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, cytoplasm, Golgi body, mitochondria. These type of components are present in a cell and it makes the cell completely full. Okay, now we discuss about the plasma membrane. First one. Plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? It is also called cell membrane. Okay. Next one. It is the definition. It is the outermost covering of a cell which protect or separate, you can say that, will separate the component of a cell from its surrounding. Okay, this is the definition of a plasma membrane. It is called cell membrane. Also, it is another name is cell membrane, and it is the outermost covering of a cell which separate the components, or you can say that which protects the another components, because the other components, cytoplasm, different types of cellular organelles, all are get inside the cell. So it is just outer, because you know that the meaning of the cells is the small room. Okay, and there is cell membrane is present, just like the wall protect the room, the materials of the inside the room, just like the same structure, and it is protective in nature, in protect or separate the cellular components from the external environment or surroundings. Okay, you can say that. Another one, it is living. Okay, it is thin and living. It is very delicate, it is very soft, it is thin and living. It helps to in the gaseous exchange, helps in a gaseous exchange. It also helps in the different types of materials movement, okay, inside and outside of the cell. And another point, another characteristic, it is selectively permeable membrane. Okay, so the plasma membrane, it is also called cell membrane. It is the outermost covering of a cell which separate the components of a cell from its surroundings, or you can say that external environment, and it is thin and living, and it is selectively permeable membrane. Now, what is selectively permeable? Okay, selectively permeable, you can guess that what is selectively, they allow some movement of the some materials, not all types of materials. Okay, so that is called selectively permeable membrane. So let's see what is selectively permeable membrane. What is selectively permeable membrane? First one, it selectively allows, okay? It selectively, not all things, selectively allows the movement of materials inside, in and outside, you can say that, in and outside of a cell. Next one, it prevent the movement of some materials in or outside the cell, in or outside the cell. Okay, so this one is the selectively permeable membrane. Why the plasma membrane is called selectively permeable membrane? Because it selectively allows, it knows that which one will be the useful for the cell, which one is the toxic material for the cell. So it allows the important useful material get inside the cell, and the another toxic material, that is unnecessary wasted product, from the outside of the cell. Okay, so that is called selectively permeable membrane. It selectively allows the movement of materials in and outside of a cell, and it prevent the movement of some materials in or outside the cell. It obviously prevent which will be the harmful for the cell. It prevents the movement of the different types of the materials. Okay, so for the reason it is called selectively permeable membrane. And how does the movement occur through the permeable membrane or plasma membrane? So how does the plasma membrane allow the movements of the different material and inside and outside of the cells? Obviously, there is maybe some process, so for that reason it can allow the movement of the different materials. So the way by which materials get inside or outside the cell. There is two ways. First one, diffusion. Another one, osmosis. So, if you move from one place to another place, you obviously take the help of different types of vehicles, different types of road, and there is the two way by which the selectively permeable membrane allow the movement of different materials inside and outside of the cell. First one, diffusion, another one, osmosis. So what is diffusion? Obviously, the gaseous exchange, the CO2, O2 that get inside and outside of the cell, that gaseous exchange occurs through the diffusion. And another one, osmosis, the movement of the water, the liquid material, that is occurs by the osmosis process. Okay, so diffusion, movement of of gaseous exchange from higher concentration region to lower concentration region. Same like the diffusion, the movement of waters occurs from higher concentration to lower one. Okay, so this is the movement. The two processes by which the movement occur different material inside the cell. First one, diffusion. What is diffusion? That is movements of gaseous material, gaseous exchange. Okay, the movement of gaseous exchange from higher concentration region to lower concentration region. The movements of gaseous exchange occur from higher concentration region to lower concentration region through a selectively permeable membrane. Okay, obviously there is plasma membrane present. For that reason it get inside the cell and go outside of the cells. Okay, so the movement of the gaseous exchange occur from the higher concentration region to lower concentration region through a selectively permeable membrane. Obviously you mentioned that through a selectively permeable membrane. Without membrane it will not be happen, okay, properly. So diffusion, movement of gaseous exchange occurs from the higher concentration region to lower concentration region through a selectively permeable membrane. Same as the osmosis, the movement of water occurs from the higher concentration region to lower concentration region through a selectively permeable membrane. Okay, that is called the osmosis. There is actually the, you know that why it is the higher concentration region to lower concentration region, because the difference between their concentration helps them to move from one region to another region. Okay, if you difference in concentration, obviously if there is the same concentration in concentration helps in movement. If there will be no difference occur, there will be movement obviously will not be occur. Difference, if you take a full glass of water and you also take another glass, that one is empty. Okay, this is a full with water, and if you connect the two glasses with a bridge, you can see that the water flows from the higher amount to the lower amount, and it still continue until the level of the water will be the same. Okay, so it continuously flow from one glass to another glass. If you take one full glass of water and another empty glass, then you join that two glass by a bridge or by a pipe, and after sometimes you can see that the higher concentration region or the level of the water which is the high, that flow from this glass, the water flow from the empty glasses, because there is the empty places there is, and the water flow occur until the level of these two glasses will be the same. So it continuously flow and the level of the water will be the same. Just like that, the same event occurs inside this diffusion and osmosis. Higher concentration region to lower concentration until the concentration of the both inside the cell and outside of the cell will be the same. Okay, they continuously flow, and this difference helps in the movement. Concentration difference helps in the movement. So now let's see if you dip an animal cell in different solution, there is a different concentration solution that inside of the cell and outside of the cell, and how an animal cell will be behave. Okay, in different solution, the behavior of a animal cell. Okay, of an animal cell in different concentration solution. Okay. First one, there is three types of solution. First one, hypotonic. Second one, hypertonic. Another one, isotonic. Okay. So what is hypotonic solution? When the concentration is higher in the external environment and lesser in the inside the cell. Okay. The concentration of the water is higher than the higher in external environment than the inside the cell. Okay, that is hypotonic. Hypotonic. So what is the hypotonic solution? Obviously the water concentration will be higher in the outside. That is the medium. If there is a medium and you can leave deep animal cell inside this medium, this concentration will be higher than the inside of the cell. Okay, that is called hypotonic solution. So obviously according to the rule of the osmosis and diffusion, obviously movement occur from the higher region to the lower region. Okay, so the water get inside or enter inside the cell. Okay, the water enter inside the cell. So for that reason the cell will be swelled up, increase its size. Okay, increase its size. So that is the result of the hypotonic solution. If you dip an animal cell or any cell in the hypotonic solution, the higher concentration of water movement occurs from the higher concentration region to lower concentration region. And so as a result, obviously, if water continuously get inside the animal cell, the cell will be swell up, increase its size, and sometimes it will be burst. Okay, so for that reason you can see that there is an example. If you can leave a marine fish into the river fresh water, because the marine water contains salt, there is the concentration is higher, and if this fish you can live in the fresh water, the fresh water continuously get inside this fish, and after some days the fish will be swelled up and it will be burst and it will be dead. Okay, died. So this is the actual process. Hypotonic. Hypo means you mean the hippo. Okay, hippo means that is swelling up, increase its size. You remember that hippo. Okay, that will be great in size, means water get inside the cell. The surroundings medium is higher concentration and the inside the cell is the lesser concentration, and obviously water get inside the cell, cell will be swell up and it will be burst. Okay, this is the result of the hypotonic solution. Next, hypertonic and isotonic. Hypertonic, that's opposite to hypotonic. The concentration of water is lesser in external surroundings, than the inside the cell. Than inside the cell. Okay. So hypertonic, just opposite to the cell. Here the external environment is the lesser and inside the cell is higher. So the water come out from the cell, will be come out from the cell, and the cell will be shrink. Okay, that is the lesser and higher. The concentration of water is lesser in external surroundings than the inside the cell. And it's also follow the osmosis rule. Obviously water or the liquid or sap, that is you can say, that get outside of the cell. If the water comes from the cell, cell will be shrink and it will be decrease its size. Okay, this is the hypertonic. Another one, isotonic. Isotonic. Isotonic, there is no difference between the concentration of the outside and inside the cell. Okay, the concentration of water will be same inside and outside of the cell. Okay, there is no difference between in concentration. So water does not flow. Okay, so this is the isotonic, means the concentration of the water that is same inside of the cell and outside of the cell. So there is no difference. If there is no difference will be occur, there will be no flowing of the water also will be occur. Actually there is flowing of the water occur, but in the same amount. When you take difference concentration, that it goes inside the cell or outside the cell from the higher concentration region to lower concentration region. But in the case of the isotonic, there is no difference, the same concentration. So same amount of water comes out from the cell and same amount of water goes inside the cell. So we can, our naked eye, we cannot visible this difference or this movement of the water. So we can say that there is no flowing of the water will be occurred. Okay, actually flowing of the water will be occurred, but in the same amount. So for that reason there is, you cannot see any type of visible difference. So you can say that there is no difference of the concentration, and if there will be no water flowing occur inside and outside of the cell. So you have we have complete the three different types of the first one, the structure of the cell, that is cell membrane, plasma membrane, and the cytoplasm and nucleus and different cell organelles. Next we can see the different characteristics of the plasma membrane, how the plasma membrane allow the movement of the different cell, and how does an animal cell behave in different solution. Okay, now move to the plasma membrane, structure and functions of the plasma membrane. Okay, first one, plasma membrane. Plasma membrane structure. What is the structure of the plasma membrane? It is thin, very delicate. It is thin. Second one, it is living. Another one, it is made by lipid and protein. Another one, it can be seen only through the electron microscope. Okay, so this is the main or primary structure of the plasma membrane. That one, it is thin, it is living, it is made by the lipid and protein. There is bilayer of the lipid present. The upper layer and the outer in the lower layer is made by the protein lipid, and the inside the cell there is the protein and another materials is present. Actually, plasma membrane is just looking like that, and it can be seen only through the electron microscope. We cannot see a single cell in our naked eye. So how it will be possible that we can see the cell membrane or plasma membrane through our naked eye? So you can know that it is microscopic, so it is, you can through only through the electron microscope. Okay, so it is thin, it is living, it is made by the lipid and protein, and it can be seen through the electron microscope. That is the structure of the plasma membrane. It is made by the lipid bilayer. Lipid bilayer means this is, if there is this type of structure is present, okay. Just looking like this type of structure, lipid bilayer structure. So this type of upper layer and